And when I watched her presentation, she did a great job, kept it to 10 minutes. You got 2 minutes. No. Kept it to 10 minutes, great content about the CISSP exam. When we did the review, I played Simon Cowell. So I'll just leave it at that. So take it away, Mariana.
All right. All right, so I want to talk to you guys about the CISSP. You've probably heard of it. So it's known to be a difficult exam, and I just want to try to kind of demystify some of this for you if I can. So what makes the CISSP difficult, right? I think it comes down to two things. So the first one is the amount of material covered on that exam. So the official study guide, it's over 1,000 pages, and the topics. You have business continuity plan, network security, software development lifecycle, data classification, disaster recovery plan, encryption, and so much more. There is not a lack of material for you to study for this test. But what I think really makes the CISSP difficult is the format of the questions and the way that they actually ask you to apply your knowledge. So when you're applying your knowledge, you have to analyze complex scenario questions and select the best CISSP answer. So it's a lot, because while you have to also know all of the material, it's really how are they going to phrase the questions that's kind of going to make or break how you do on this exam. Some people say this exam is a mile wide and an inch deep. I would say when it comes to technical topics, sure, because like I agree with you there. But when it comes to applying management best practices, this exam it really zeroes in on that. It's super specific about how it wants you to answer these questions. So what should you focus on? So this is a bit of a mouthful, but you want to study interconnected concepts. You want to grasp how topics like governance, risk management, and security policies work in tandem with the technical implementations like access control and encryption. So you want to understand what does the policy say and how does that actually impact what you should do about access control or encryption. Questions, when you're doing the questions, the things that you want to pay attention to are things like budget constraints, policy requirements, regulatory compliance. So realize it's a management exam. Yes, you have to learn technical concepts in order to do well, but ultimately you have to apply this knowledge, you have to apply management concepts to the technical knowledge that you're learning. So I really like this meme, everything that the light touches is our kingdom, because everything that is in that 1,000-page CBK body of knowledge, everything that's on the study guide, it's fair game for the exam. But if you realize that all of these subjects, all of the technical subjects are used to write management questions, and you ultimately have to deal with balancing the competing business objectives and security priorities. So one mistake that I made was that I really thought it was more about just studying the book, just studying the technical concepts. And then when I actually got to the practice questions, it really took me for a spin, because I was not expecting to really have to read the question and look at the material this way, because you have to put everything together to really understand how the security policy fits in, with your access controls. It's, yeah, so you really have to think about the business objectives. And I really like this way of thinking about it, because when you're doing scenario-based questions, you really have to embody the manager mindset. Like, you have to think, if I'm a high-level manager trying to balance all these different priorities, how do I want to approach this question? Because the questions are going to be long, and the answer choices are also sometimes, a sentence long, and the difference between choice A and choice B could be really, like, it feels like it's almost subjective. But when you know that you have to answer as a high-level manager and you really embody that, then it becomes easier to narrow down the choices and figure out, okay, what should I actually say? Even though all these answers look plausible, how do I pick the one right answer? So think like a manager. Things I wish I knew sooner. Again, I studied the book, I highlighted the book, and I was expecting to do well on the practice questions. That did not happen. Boy, did that hurt. About 2 months in, I'm trying to do practice questions because normally I'm very conscientious about how I study. So then when I'm actually getting to the answer or to the practice questions, it's normally something I can feel good about. That didn't happen. Really, really hurt to find that out. But what I did find out is that when you're doing practice questions, you have to be really careful. So read the question, read the answer choices. Read the question again, read the question choices. Try to understand what are the competing business and security objectives that are the most important to finding the best answer. And please start practicing these questions as soon as possible, because that is the way that you're going to have to interact with the material, and to actually learn the technical concepts by going through the questions is really the best way to bring it all together. Most helpful resources. So how do you actually do these practice questions so that you can get better and you can maximize the return on investment on your time when you're studying? So find resources that break down questions to thoroughly explain how and why each answer choice was eliminated before finding the correct answer. So you don't just want to know what the correct answer is, you want to know what are the minute differences between all the other wrong answer choices. 2 resources that I'm just going to recommend. Luke Ahmed's Think Like a Manager. He's a pretty big name in CISSP prep. Buy it, read it, get the online question video subscription. That is what really helped me figure out how to approach the CISSP and pass it on the first try. Also, Prab Nair, his resources are free. He's got YouTube videos, he breaks down the questions, he explains the methods for analyzing and arriving at the best answer. He will underline the key words for you, and then he'll go through all the choices, tell you why this is wrong, why this is right. He'll draw you pictures. It's great. It really helped me. My favorite meme about the CISSP, okay, because that is what it feels like. They will give you 4 plausible answers, and you have to try to figure out what is their logic to coming up with the best answer. So, in the spirit of helping you guys enjoy the CISSP mindset, I wrote a question just for Simply CyberCon. So, what is the ultimate purpose of Simply CyberCon? Is it to provide a platform for networking? Is it to facilitate knowledge sharing and skill building? Is it to help foster a supportive environment? Or is it to drive cyber risk reduction by helping address the talent shortage faced by the cybersecurity field? Boy, that is a weird one, because I know we're here to network, I know we're here to knowledge share, I know we're here to be supportive, but what is this about driving cyber risk reduction? Well, that's the CISSP mindset for you right there. So you have to think, what is the business risk and how can it be addressed? Imagine you're a manager and you have to justify the cost and time for putting together this event. So how does this event reduce risk for the business? So from a risk management perspective, the reason that we network, share knowledge, and support each other is to close the talent gap, because that is the risk. Not enough people. The solution, have more competent professionals. So, yes, correct answer, help reduce the talent gap. In CISSP style thinking, it's essential to focus on the highest level objective of an event or an initiative, particularly in a scenario where multiple outcomes may be desirable. And the correct answer emphasizes the strategic goal of reducing cybersecurity risk posed by the talent gap currently facing the cybersecurity risk field. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. I worked real hard on it. So practice questions with explanations, just so you're prepared. When you're first going to be doing practice questions, it'll hurt a little, it's tough, but if you give yourself some grace, you keep going, don't get discouraged, keep things interesting, try to vary your studying, and just keep swimming. All right, so yeah, you've got everything it takes, but it just might take everything you've got. And with that, I'll see you on the other side, future CISSPs.